Scream 7 is the latest film in the Scream franchise in which Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and some of the other characters who haven't died yet. And we are in back in. We have an initial flashback to the or a moment from the first film, and we see some revisiting and think, "Gosh, what's going on?" And then we go to Sydney's new hometown where she lives with her husband, her daughter, and her younger children, older daughter and her younger children who are not there because that makes life easier. So you're not traumatizing young children, which is not great in such films. And lo, it appears as though Stu from the original film may or may not still be alive. And
Okay, yeah.
and lo, there is some targeting of her daughter, and madness ensues, as is traditional in all Scream films,
Yep.
and lots of people get stabbed. I believe that is the full summary. I don't, Sean, are there any other key points I've missed there?
Well, I've got to say, with the Scream films, I'm not heavily invested in Scream, so I don't really know. I couldn't even tell you one from the other. All I know is they're all a bit daft for me. I mean, the reason I went to see this is because there was a couple of friends and they wanted to see it, and they've obviously have got all the nostalgia and all that. For me, I wasn't really. So I think your summary was perfect. There's like lots of blood and
there's a lot of blood,
lot of blood.
Die. In, in quite different fashions, as is also traditional for Scream films. It follows in the classic pathway of all slasher.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It really, really bugs me. They even say it in the thing. Make sure that bloody dead every time. That's my biggest bugbear. Why do you not make it? But
shoot them in the head.
Yeah, shoot them in the head. Make sure they're like, oh, I think I've shot them. Oh, yeah. Well, make sure you have double tap. But what I was going to say about this is I was really, really pleased. Like, only a short time into the film, I said, I reckon that's the boss.
Oh, that you reckon that's the villain?
Yeah. Did you get it as well, Holly?
Yeah.
Someone turned around to me and said, if that's the case, that's really weak script writing. So,
well, the thing about
I'll message you as to whether or not it's the same.
Yeah. But the thing about Scream that I've always found is because Scream obviously started off as almost kind of like a meta commentary on slasher movies.
Yeah.
So it's a slasher movie, but all through the first Scream, if the first 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, they're commenting about the fact that this is a slasher movie, and if this is a slasher movie, this is what will happen next. When they brought it back with Scream 5, they did that as well, talking about legacy sequels, and this is what will happen next. And so they always kind of make it kind of clear who the bad guy is. I feel like in Scream, they're never really trying to hide who the bad guy is. They might try and throw you off, but like they'll be like, yeah, we know, yeah, we said it. Because I mean, I think even in Scream 5, there's a point at which one character says, who is he? He is probably the bad guy, and that ends up being the case. That probably ends up being the case.
What number's that, Toes? You sound like you're a bit of an aficionado of Scream movies.
I have seen one. I saw 1 and 2 in the cinema.
Okay.
Yeah, 3. That's the one where they go to Hollywood.
Absolutely no idea.
I think I saw that in cinemas. 4 is the one that Emma Roberts is in. That one I have watched like the last 10 minutes of.
Never
5
seen.
is when they brought everybody back, like the sort of 20 years later thing. 6 I have not seen because by that time because 5 I was like, oh yeah, they're bringing it back. Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look. 6 I was like, oh no, they're just gonna keep making these things. And that was when they're in New York and they had Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega in it. And I didn't bother watching that one.
As they did in 5 as well.
As they did in 5, because they were supposed to be the new blood. then Israel invaded Palestine and went into the Gaza Israel and did the whole thing. Melissa Barrera said something in support of Gaza, so she got kicked off the film. And Jenna Ortega went, well, if she's getting kicked off, I'm getting kicked off. And they already had a script for Scream 7 that involved those two. And so they went, bring Neve Campbell back and pay her the money that we... because she wasn't in Scream 6. Because when they said they wanted to be in Scream 6, she said, pay me this much. And they said no. So she said, well, in that case, I'm not going to be in it. And so obviously they've gone back and they've gone, sorry, we'll have all the money you want. And they've paid her what she's worth, and they brought her back for Scream 7 because due to politics that had nothing to do with the film, Scream 7, after Scream 6, it got messed up. So essentially, that's the whole thing. That's to say I've seen about 70% of them.
She does seem pretty smug throughout the film. Like I did wonder that. I wondered if she was like, I'm getting paid an mint for this. So she didn't. To me, she never felt any menace. She just looked like she was like chuffed as could possibly be.
They're not going to kill me off just in case they want a number 8 and they want a backup.
I've been paid a terrific sum for this.
It's like, I am way too important to be killed. This is lovely. Now imagine now I would have so much respect for Scream movies if in the meta way they commented on that while the film was going during the film. All right, cool. So that's what you thought. That's what you thought about the film. Not being that much about the Screaming aficionados or anything. So, how many stars would you give it?
Well, I mean, first say it did an excellent job of jump scares. It was absolute nonsense. But it was always going to be absolute nonsense.
Yes.
I was looking for it to be anything other than absolute nonsense. And we got to the end of the film and we said, that was absolutely ridiculous. I loved it. So it is a film of nonsensical, I want to say joy. It doesn't feel like joy is the right word when, lots of people are being...
getting stabbed, yeah.
Yeah, and some. It's, disemboweled and the like. But it is a really fun film.
Yeah. Splashes of blood everywhere.
Yeah, but good jump scares. Okay, we know I'm pathetic and I jump at everything, but they were really good jump scares.
Okay, cool. So how many stars?
I'm going to give it 3.
Sure.
For me, I'm probably going to give it, because I wasn't that heavily invested in it, a 2.5. But I knew what to expect, so I can't be really that bad of it. So it's a 2.5 for me.
Yeah, but also, Sean, I mean, you are usually quite critical of horror movies, especially slasher movies, and it sounds like you are not as critical of this as you are with a lot of the other ones.
Well, I think I agree with Holly a little bit. I went knowing what to expect. It's going to be stupid, so I didn't. I thought, I expected it to be what it was. So, but I wouldn't say I would have. I probably wouldn't have bothered if it wasn't for other people going.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
I definitely wanted to see it, knowing full well what it was going to be, which was lacking in profundity.
I think that's it, because obviously people have. I mean, I'm quite older, so I don't know what is it, 90s the Scream?
Yeah, 90s, 90, 96,
so,
I think the first one.
I was going to say 90, somewhere between 95 and 97.
Yeah. So I guess you guys would have been a nice age to see the.
Well, yeah, that was kind of like the go from school. That I was in A levels at that time. Yeah, 96. I was right. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. So that is 2.75 stars for Scream 7, and